it allows the strongest male to have access to all of the females that are needed to carry on the strongest gene. So you see this in gorillas. Like there's a silverback gorilla, and then there's all the smaller males around him. These smaller males don't mate with all the female gorillas. It is only the alpha male that does so. And my mentor in biology put it simply. He's like, you can consider like the beta males as like the gay in nature. They don't reproduce, just like gay people don't have natural children, right? So their purpose is not to reproduce, their purpose is just to exist, right? So beta males in nature are under the male. Their only purpose is protect the females, protect the tribe. If we die doing it, then we're being male, right? In the topside world of humans, this is why males compete, and it feels good to them to win and to show competence and to show excellence because it is hearkening to that hierarchy that exists in nature. We're a part of nature, right? Like humans are a part of nature, but we forget that we are. And so when you see like a feminized man, and we say feminized not because he's like a woman, but because he's in that part of his behavioral mechanism and chemistry that essentially he stops achieving. He stops that kind of like male type behavior of competing with other males. And caricatures in the world of content, Carnivore Aurelius does a really I love following Carnivore
Yep.
Aurelius because he produces these memes about like feminized men. So a feminized man is a man with pornography vice, smoking, drinking. Like these are men who need substances to cope, right? That's a man in his feminine because he needs to kind of like just survive life but not achieve, right? And so like this is also the man who um he can't like get a woman, right? He's dating, but he's not like getting the type of woman that he wants to marry. And so even men who are in partnerships and situationships where they are not rising to being the hierarchical male, like the excellent male, right? One who is worthy of taking on a partner and taking care of her. He's a feminized man too. It's very interesting because we tend to minimize like femininity and masculinity to just, oh, women who have makeup and wear dresses and talk a certain way, and they're feminine. And like, oh, men who go to the gym and then they work out and then they sleep with a bunch of women, that's masculine behavior. But actually, if you look at the personalities of people and you look really closely at the dynamics that they have with interacting with other human beings, a overtly feminine looking woman can actually be doing that in her masculine energy. And a man who might be overtly masculine in terms of like the visuals, like what he presents out there, can actually be doing it from an egoic sense of the feminine. I recently learned this from attending, again, these sessions with my mentors. This one in particular by a doctor, and he was like saying, those men, when you see them online and all they're doing is just posting their workouts and like their muscles and their face, even if they're men and they're male, that is a very egoic behavior and manifestation. And the ego resides in the female area of the brain. And so, to humor us, because this was a class of all females being mentored by a male, you could say that a man who is full of himself is like a woman. Because the ego is in the female aspect of the brain, right? So he
Interesting.
says, like, we need to know, like, and use this in our discernment factors for people. Like a very masculine man is probably not even in social media at all, unless he's running a business and it's his marketing platform, etc. But like real men are out there doing hard things, usually for their woman, and then coming home, wanting a peaceful home that his woman has managed and taken care of for him. Like somehow this angers feminists. Like somehow this has become oppressive, right? And some women have taken on that narrative too, but it actually is a very organic microcosm of what's happening in nature already. If your husband is working hard because he wants a promotion, that's just like these beta males trying to figure out how to topple the alpha male gorilla, if they can
Yeah.
hope to do that, because that's what happens in the wild. Like, I think I want to be like an alpha male. I'm going to try and kill the alpha gorilla. In the world space, that looks like a man saying, I want to make a better life for my children. I'm going to work hard and get this promotion against this other man who's also vying for the position. It's the same thing, right? Same energetics, different like embodiment because of we're human and that's nature, but we are still a part of how nature operates. We are still operating under natural law,
Mm.
right? Which is the unwritten
Yeah.
law, but it is the truth, the fundamental truth of who we are as humans. So to remember that is crucial to restoring like true polarity between us. Again, to borrow that phrase from Dr. Pat Allen, women have to feel good in order to do good. Men have to do good in order to feel good. In nature, that looks like Mr. Alpha Gorilla killing off all the enemies and all the intruders so that all of the females with his babies can feel good, feel protected. He's doing good and he feels good doing that so that the woman, the female within his territory, can feel good to have more of his babies, to carry on more of the progeny. If we can remember that that dynamic already exists, and we have the opportunity to remember and reinstate it in correcting the inversions that have happened against our biology as men and women, then I feel, like we will see more of these recalibrated family dynamics, which, like women in our spaces, we're holding the space for now. We're holding the space for women who didn't have present fathers, who probably had dominant mothers in their creating in their masculine energy versus being in their feminine energy. So, yeah, I don't know if I went too far off track there, Lisa.
That's beautiful. I love the tangents. They always get us
But
to.
that's the descent. That is really I
Mhm.
don't make it complicated. I just say, let's look at nature.